So right now I'm in my VSphere client, and I was trying to install some new VMs, and I noticed that although there were some built-in ISO images, they were very small and they weren't working. So now what I've done is I've gone in here. Let me start over real quick, and I've gone to the summary page of my VSphere client, and then I'm right-clicking on this data store. I'm going to browse it. I'm going to do new folder over here, and then I'll just call this ISOs. Okay, and so now I have this folder in here, and now we need to put something in it. Okay, so now I have that folder created. I want to upload a new file. Alright, so I'm going to see if I can find an ISO file. So I'm going to try to browse my local home group, maybe, or let's see, look on my network. So this is my host machine, and then I have some files in this folder here. Maybe, let's see. So here's Linux Mint. Here's an Ubuntu 12.10. That'll be fine. We'll try this one. Yep. Okay, so it's going to upload. Again, this one is a fairly decent size file. I didn't look at the exact size of it. So that file's running. We can see there's some CPU usage, a little bit of memory usage as it copies over. But again, it looks like it's taking maybe 45 seconds or so. So now that I have something in here, an actual ISO file that should work, now I'm going to just close this out for now. And I'm going to go back over here, try to create a new virtual machine, and then we're going to go through, and we'll call this one Ubuntu. Let's see, I think that was version 12. Okay, and we'll store it here. It's going to be Linux. See if we have Ubuntu 64-bit network. That's fine. Create disk. Again, I want to do thin provisioning, so I'm not using it right away. Thick provisioning would make it all be used. I want to edit this before we try to power it on. I want to go to my device here. Again, I'm going to look in my data store, and let's see if we have it in here. So here's the file that I created, and here's the file that I upload to my data store. I will tell this to connect it power on. Let's see. We'll give this a, let's see, can we do, we'll do 2 processors. Memory, see if we can bump that up to 2 gigs. Video card, that's fine. I don't have a lot of resources where I'm starting from on that one. Let's see, that's fine. So we'll do that. It'll be on this VMware network. And that'll be fine. So hit finish. So now we'll select our new device. We'll power it on, and we're going to right click this and then open the console. Alright, and if things go well, which it looks good because I've got this purple background, then we'll start having this Ubuntu ISO file that it'll try to boot to, and then we should be able to go through and do the install. Once we do the install, then we will have our first VM inside of a VM that connects to an ESXi 6 VM. So it's all so simple. So I'm going to just pause going through this, and right. So my machine is almost finished here. Again, I'm in this console view, so you'll see if you look at the very bottom of the screen that I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but it looks like just another application window the way that this is open. And unlike in VMware Workstation, I can close this and this machine should still continue running. The only thing I'm doing when I close it is I'm just closing that view of that. But if I go back and say open up the console, again it should continue running in the background. So if you're using this as an enterprise type resource, you would probably have multiple types of servers running, and occasionally you might need to console into one of them, and you could install this VSphere client on multiple machines as long as you want to grant that permission, and then your admins and your junior admins could use that console to connect into and troubleshoot and manage your virtualized servers. So again, this is just finishing up this. Gives me some different permissions. Here's the console right here in this tab. So if I look there, look here, see the same thing. So it tells me there's 2 active connections. Right. So if I close this one, it should say there's now 1 active connection. Alright, so it's finished doing the install, so now we just need to restart. Now what we need to do is edit the virtual machine settings so that it doesn't try to boot to that disk every time. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. Now we can edit the settings. CV. Okay. So now we should have the OS installed and have it where it's not trying to boot to the live CD each time. So let's turn it on. Power. Well, see that little flash of purple? That's a good sign. Alright. Now, see this? This is a great sign. Alright, and so I'll just enter my password. In my case, it's Yerby123. 123. If I can type my name correctly. There we go. Hit enter. And then eventually we'd want to do other things like install tools and everything. But we can see it's functioning. Let's see if we have a network connection. And then we'd want to install, network drivers and updates and everything else that you would want to use a virtual machine for. But at this point we have our VM running in ESXi on all running within VMware. Alright, so fantastic. Alright, thanks. That's the end of the video.